Okay. This is a dispositional review hearing in this matter. Present in the virtual courtroom, we have Cynthia Rathburn, attorney for mother Ms. Scroggins. We have attorney Mary Golden on behalf of the child. We have Stacy Van Dyken on behalf of the legal custodian and various agency workers. All right, Ms. Golden.
Your Honor, I'd like to call Brianna
Thank
Fonger. Ms. Fonger, where are you employed?
Samaritas West.
And you're the foster care worker for TS?
Correct.
Okay, and TS remains in the same placement he's been in for quite a while, correct?
Correct.
And how is he doing there?
He's doing rather well. Behaviors around visits with biomom have decreased. However, there are still some behavioral concerns. Therapist reports he's sort of mourning the loss of his custodial parent.
Okay, how often is he going to therapy?
Weekly.
Okay, and it sounds like he's pretty engaged in therapy, is that correct?
Yes.
Has there been any change to his medications?
No, he did have a medication review in October, but no changes.
Okay, and rather than going through all of them, because there's quite lengthy list, they're listed on page 2 of the PAT, is that correct? The parent agency treatment plan, okay. And so does he seem to be doing well on the medication?
Yes.
Okay, is he up to date on well child checkups?
Yes, he is.
And what about dental?
Yes.
Okay, and what about immunizations? Is he up to date?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and so as far as behaviors, you said they've decreased around, because I know there were some concerns about him regressing after visits, but there's been a decrease in that?
Correct.
And it sounds like he was having pretty much supervised telephone calls with his bio mom, and now we're looking at maybe some unsupervised telephone calls. Is that correct?
Yes.
And why is that?
The therapist, as well as the placement, both agree that they are no longer needed to be sort of moderators in the conversation, that TS no longer needs a secondary adult around to sort of prompt him to interact with Miss Scroggins. He tends to really look forward to those phone calls on his own, and tends to actually get rather upset if Miss Scroggins has to reschedule.
Okay. And so she's been appropriate during the calls, correct?
Correct.
And if there's any concerns, then you would probably go back to supervised, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and as far as in school, how's he doing?
He's doing all right. His only concern is his math grade at this time. However, I do know that the placement continues to work with him on his mathematics at home. Additionally, there was a brief concern in early October. He did throw himself down a staircase. He was assessed at a behavioral urgent care. He was deemed a non-risk to himself. So he was able to go back to school and back home without any concern.
Was that at school that he
Correct.
did that? Okay. And what about any other behaviors since then?
None reported.
Okay. And I know he's really interested in art and does a lot of art. Is there any funding available for any type of extracurricular activities for him regarding that?
That is definitely something I can look into. We did offer him a art therapy specifically for foster kids in his area. However, he deemed he was not interested, especially since at this time he was just going back to visits with his bio mother, as well as starting in speech therapy. But that's definitely something I can ask him about the next time.
Oh yeah, and what else, is he in anything else besides speech therapy?
No, just speech therapy as well as mental health therapy with Eastern Steels.
Okay, and he remains bonded with his foster parent, correct?
Correct.
And she received her license. She's licensed now since October, correct?
Correct.
So, and if we look at guardianship, does he need to be there 6 months from the date she got licensed in order to apply for that? Or can we do that now since he's been living with her for over a year and a half?
Yeah, so we did look into that. His funding source does not require him to be there for an additional 6 months. So the agency is working on filling out those guardianship papers at this time.
Okay, so how soon do you think we could get that guardianship completed?
I believe I just need her, Miss Mason to sign off at the next home visit, which will have to be next week. And then that needs to be submitted.
Okay. And is there anything else about TS that we haven't talked about?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And what about Miss Scroggins? Have you had any contact with her?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And we don't have a treatment plan for her though, correct?
Correct.
She's having regular contact. You already talked about that and it's appropriate, correct?
Correct.
And she supports his current placement?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else about, and Miss Scroggins remains in out of state, correct?
Correct.
So there's been no in-person contact, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are there Zoom visits?
Yes, they do video visits quite often.
Okay. And those are appropriate.
Yes.
Okay. What about Miss Runyon? Have you had any contact with her?
Briefly, I had contact with Ms. Runyon on August 27th. She reached out to me asking about what guardianship means, as well as asking for my supervisor's contact info, and that information was provided. And I also recommended her to touch base with her own attorney, and I have not heard anything from Ms. Runyon since.
Have you tried to set up any type of visits between her and TS?
No, not at this time.
And why is that?
All efforts to ask if she wanted visits, she never responded to.
Okay. What are your recommendations today?
That TS remain in his current placement. He remained a temporary court ward. That his permanency plan remain guardianship. And this matter be reviewed as needed.
And you authored a case service plan for today, is that correct?
Correct.
Along with that is a report card, honorable judge report, and a PAT, correct?
Correct.
And the date of that is 10/30/2024.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that be marked as Exhibit 1 and move for its admission.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, it's admitted.
Is there any other recommendations?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Rathburn.
I have no questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Van Dyken?
I have no questions as well, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Golden, any further, and any additional witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rathburn, same question.
No, thank you.
And Ms. Van Dyken?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Statements, Ms. Golden.
Your Honor, I did have a chance to visit with TS yesterday. He showed me some of the artwork he does. He's a very good artist and he's doing very well in the home. He's very bonded to his caretaker, and I do support the goal of guardianship. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rathburn?
Well, on behalf of Ms. Scroggins, and I know that she usually tries to attend when she's not working, so I'm assuming that she was having to work today. I'm sure she will indicate to the court she really enjoys meeting with her son. I know that's really important to her and she takes that seriously, and I'm glad that that's going well. And I think that a recommendation for guardianship would also be in her best interest, seeing that her parental rights would remain in place. So I would ask the court to adopt the recommendations, Your Honor, and set this for another review.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Van Dyken.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would make no statement as to the recommendations. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute, that returning this child to a parent or legal custodian today would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being for the same reasons that this case or this child was placed into care in the first place. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate as meeting his needs, that his needs can be met in a foster family home. The court orders that this child continue in the protective and temporary custody of the court, continue placement with the Department for Care and Supervision. The parenting time of Ms. Runyon be supervised until further order of the court. Continue to order.
Question. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm the therapist with Easter Seals. I had a question about supervised visits with Miss Runyon. I was not aware that that was on the table.
I think that's been the order throughout the case.
Okay. There just hasn't been any like participation from her.
That doesn't matter. It's in the order. So if she's not, that's up to her whether she wants to participate, but it's in the order.
Okay.
right? I'll continue the order that all family team meetings include Ms. Runyon and Ms. Scroggins. Continue the attorneys in this matter. And Ms. Gibson, do you have a date for our next hearing?
Yes, February 11th at 9 a.m.
Works for me.
That works for me.
Me as well.
Okay, we will see you then.
Present in the virtual courtroom, we have mother's attorney Cynthia Rathburn, the child's attorney Mary Golden, the attorney for the legal custodian Mark Van Sluten. We have the current foster care parent, and I think I covered. Oh, and we have Bethany Robos from Samaritas. Ms. Golden.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call Bethany Rubos.
Ms. Golden.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rubos, you're the foster care worker for TS, correct?
That's correct.
And how long have you been the foster care worker?
I got this case about 2 months ago.
Okay, and you had a chance to speak to the previous foster care worker or review previous records to be updated on how TS is doing?
I have, yes.
Okay, and you authored a report for today, a case service plan with the PAT of 1/22/2025, is that correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I'd ask that be marked as Exhibit 1 and move for its admission.
Any objection?
No
No
objection.
objection.
It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rubos, so let's talk about TS. He remains in his current placement that he's been in for quite a while. How's he doing there?
He's doing really well there. He's very securely bonded to his placement.
And you've been out to the home recently, correct?
Correct.
And does it appear to be appropriate in meeting the needs of TS,
Yes, it is.
as well as the caretakers meeting the needs of TS?
Yes.
Okay, and how is he doing in school? I noted that he had an E in reading. How are they addressing that?
Yeah, so he is doing well in school. He likes his school that he's in. His behaviors have been better in the school. As far as his grades go, yes, he is. He did have some academic slipping in this last period, where he went from some very positive grades in a few areas to some poor grades. A lot of that is due to some missed or late assignments. The hope is that getting things caught up there will boost the grade back up, as well as the placement provider is certainly on his back about getting those grades up.
Okay, so she's working with him in the school to help him get the E changed, correct?
That's correct.
Does he has either an IEP, I believe he has an IEP, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I know you already said his behaviors have improved, and what about in the home? How are his behaviors in the home?
Behaviors in the home have been positive recently as well.
Okay, and I noted there were really no med changes except for they took him off Prozozin, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and it looks like he's in need of a well child checkup and a dental exam, is that correct?
Let's see here. The most recent well child I have for him was 8/16/24, so he wouldn't be due for that for another 6 months, but he is due for a dental.
And do you know if that's being scheduled?
I'll have to check my records.
Okay, but you'll make sure that gets scheduled if it hasn't been, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, and as far as visits, he hasn't had any visits or any real contact with Miss Runyon, is that correct?
That's correct.
Has she made any attempts to get a hold of you or anyone at the agency?
She is not.
Okay, has anyone tried to reach out to her to see if they can just have contact with her and communicate with her?
I have reached out to her. I haven't had a response.
Okay, and do we know, is that still a good phone number and address for her that's listed on the case service plan?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay. What about, before we go on to Ms. Scroggins, anything else about TS? He is in counseling, correct?
That's correct.
And it sounds like he's making some progress and doing well in counseling. Is that correct?
He is doing well, yes. Yes, I
Okay.
did meet with the with his counselor at my last home visit.
Okay, and no issues, correct?
Correct.
And no other health concerns for TS?
Correct. No concerns.
Okay, so then let's go on to Ms. Scroggins. Have you had any contact with her?
I have not.
Have you attempted to reach out to her?
I have not had contact with her.
But have you tried to like call her or send her a letter or anything regarding TS?
I have not.
Do you plan to?
I certainly can.
Okay, just to give her an update on how he's doing.
Mhm.
I know she's not working a treatment plan, but she is having visits with them, correct?
She is doing like phone calls, video visits, yes.
And is Miss Mason, is she the one that's supervising those calls?
Yes,
Okay, and have you talked to Miss Mason to see if there's been any concerns about those visits?
I have.
And
She
what's
said,
the response?
oh, sure. No, she says they're going really well. They've been very positive interactions.
Okay, and I think the last time we were here, she had mentioned that there was sometimes there were, after calls, there were some behavior issues. I think like bedwetting or something. Has that stopped?
Yes, I haven't had any reports of that.
Okay. How often does Miss Scroggins have contact with him?
Well, that's weekly.
Okay. And are you recommending that continue?
Yes.
Okay. And so where are we in the guardianship process?
So right now, Ms. Mason is very interested in adopting TS. TS would like to be adopted by Ms. Mason. I believe currently things are being held up by this guardianship with Miss Runyon.
Okay, the goal was guardianship. So where are we in the process of, getting that completed?
When I spoke with Ms. Mason, she said she was not interested in a guardianship. She wanted to adopt.
Okay, but the goal was guardianship from the last hearing.
We certainly, yes, can move in that direction.
Okay, but we had started that process before, so do you know
Okay.
where she is in that process?
As far as I'm aware, things are being held up by Ms. Runyon and her existing guardianship.
Okay, but as far as the guardianship for Miss Mason, has she been given the paperwork to complete?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay, can you check into that?
Absolutely.
So what are your recommendations today?
It is respectfully recommended that TS remain a temporary court ward under the care and supervision of DHHS and its contracted agencies, that TS remains in his court-ordered fictive kin placement or the licensed foster home, that the parenting time of Ms. Scroggins and Ms. Runyon remain supervised or unsupervised at the agency's discretion, and the case be reviewed in 90 days.
Okay, and the goal remain guardianship?
We can't change the goal at a review hearing.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. Ms. Rathburn.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Robus,
Good morning.
right? I
Yes.
keep doing this.
Were you aware in this file, there is paperwork that indicates Miss Runyon is not a guardian. She has custody. So that's where we're not proceeding, we're not worried about proceeding with guardianship because there is not technically a guardian over this child already. Is that something you were aware of?
That was not something I was aware of.
Okay, all right. And when you were talking with Miss Mason, were you talking with her about adoption? Because my client contacted me and said, why can't we do an adoption? And I had to explain to her, that we can't, that our hands are tied with how the court is set up with the other custody case. But is it something that you could do, is to talk to my client to reassure her that guardianship really is the only way that we can proceed forward on this?
Yes, we can talk about that.
Okay, very good. And I know in the past, there's not been expectations for my client to have a parent agency treatment plan. But she has appreciated being able to have some communication with the agency just so she feels that she knows what's going on. So for that purpose as well, can you contact her just to check in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and if you don't have, if you're unable to contact her, just let me know because I do have a good phone number for her that I can get back to her.
Okay.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Van Sluten.
Thank you, Ms. Robles. You'll continue to reach out to Ms. Runyon, is that correct?
That's correct.
And how often are you doing that?
I sent her an email yesterday.
Okay. Is it weekly, monthly? Is it
Monthly.
Okay, all right. I have nothing further, thanks.
Ms. Golden, any follow-up?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Rathburn?
No, thank you.
All right. Ms. Golden, any additional witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rathburn, any witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Van Sluten?
No, thank you.
All right. Ms. Golden, statement?
Your Honor, I did have a chance to see TS over the last 3 months. I think it was about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, and he's doing very well. I met some family members of Miss Mason's. They're a great support to her. She's done a great job with him. He's just flourishing in her home. I'm so happy with his placement. So I agree with the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rathburn?
Well, Your Honor, I have heard from my client in this report period as well, and that's where she raised the concern, like, why can't we do an adoption? And unfortunately, and I know that we have new help assisting us today with the case, but that we can't go there because the custody paperwork in the other state, it would just be too much for anyone to try to figure out to make that happen. So unfortunately, we're only can move forward with a guardianship at this time, but I know my client is very satisfied with her son and how he's progressing. And I know she has good and regular contact with Miss Mason, which I think, you know, really this is the best outcome that we can come up with. Hopefully we can get the guardianship paperwork just off and running so then we don't have to have these court hearings anymore. But I think that setting this for another 90-day review is what we should be doing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Van Sluten?
Your Honor, I have no statement today, thank you.
All right. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute, that returning this child to a parent or legal custodian would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being. The court makes that finding based on the prior findings of the court, the prior evidence throughout this case, and the fact that nothing's changed. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate and is meeting the child's needs. The needs of the child can be met in a foster family home. The court orders that the child is continued in the protective and temporary custody of the court, continued placement with the Department for Care and Supervision. The parenting time of Ms. Runyon is supervised until further order of the court. Continue the attorneys in. Well, actually, I'm going to continue the order that all family team meetings with the agency include both Ms. Runyon, who is the legal custodian, and Ms. Scroggins, who is the mother. Continue the attorneys in this matter. And Ms. Gibson, do we have a review date for about 3 months out?
Yes, Your Honor, just making sure that we do not need to schedule a permanency planning hearing.
No.
Okay. It is May 6th at 9 a.m.
Works for me.
We also,
And just for clarity, are we talking about a juvenile guardianship or an epic guardianship? My understanding was it was a juvenile guardianship, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
That would be my understanding as well.
I'm just double checking the order. Yeah, juvenile guardianship. So, yeah, the agency needs to move forward with that as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'll have a conversation with Ms. Rubos and kind of catch her up on what's happened.
Yeah,
Because
this
she was
is a
blindsided by it. Yeah.
this is a rather complicated legally complicated case because of the case in Ohio. So, all right. Anything further?
No.
Present in the virtual courtroom, we have Cynthia Rathburn on behalf of the mother. We have the child's attorney, Mary Golden, the legal custodian's attorney, Stacy Van Dyken, and Ms. Pelevin from Samaritas. Ms. Golden,
Your Honor, I'd like to call Ms. Plavin.
do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
May I
Ms.
proceed,
Golden?
Your Honor?
Yes,
Thank
you may.
Ms. Plavin, you are the supervisor for the previous foster care worker, correct?
Yes, I am.
And it's my understanding Ms. Rubis is no longer handling this case. Is that true?
That's correct.
So who is going to be the new foster worker on this case?
The new worker will be Tyriana.
Okay, and will you send all counsel the change?
Yes, I will.
The DHS form? Okay.
Yep.
And so you reviewed the exhibits and you've spoken to Ms. Rubis so you can testify on her behalf today, correct?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we have exhibits. As far as the exhibits, we have the case service plan with the honorable judge report. Date of that is 4/16/2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that be marked as exhibit 1 and move for its admission.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Plavin, we also have a case service plan addendum from 1/23/2025 through 4/16/2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask to be marked as exhibit 2 and move for its admission.
Any objection?
No.
All right, it's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms.
And
Plavin,
I'm sorry, Ms. Golden, I'm going to interrupt for a moment. I just noticed, I believe our last permanency planning hearing was last year. I'll just ask Ms. Gibson to confirm the date of our last permanency planning hearing.
Yes, I show it as June 3 of 24.
All right, then I need to ask if the parties would waive notice of a permanency planning hearing so that we can take care of that today.
So waive, Your Honor.
I'll wait, Your Honor.
yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Plavin, so TS remains in the same placement he's been in for a long time, for over a year,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
And he's doing really well there, correct?
He is. He's very bonded to the caregiver.
Okay, and the caregiver has family members living with her also that are a great support to him, correct?
Yes, he do. Yes, she does.
Okay, and how's he doing in school?
Overall, he's doing well. He's been able to bring up a few of his grades, but he really enjoys his school, and they've been really accommodating for him.
Okay, and what about his health? Any changes in his physical health?
Nope, he remains in good health. He's current on his medical and dental. Recently, they were able to wean him off of, looks like 2 medications, but otherwise he remains in good health.
What about immunizations? Is he up to date on immunizations?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and as far as his mental health, is he still in therapy?
Yes, he is.
And how often does he see his therapist?
They meet weekly.
Okay, and it sounds like he's doing really well in therapy and engaged. Is that correct?
He is, yes. He has a really good bond with his therapist. She is out on maternity leave, but her supervisor has been able to step in. He continues to do really well. Like you said, he, overall, he's been doing really well in therapy.
And no behavioral issues either in school or at the home?
No, he's been doing well with no noted issues.
Okay, and he's had contact with his bio mother. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I think those are still just telephone calls. Is that correct?
Yep, it's either telephone or virtual meetings as she lives out of state.
And are there any issues with those visits?
No, those visits have gone well. They've formed a good relationship, and those are, I think they're appropriate.
Okay, and what about with his custodial parent? Has he had any contact with her?
No, he has not. I think the agency last had contact with her over a year ago. We've reached out, phone, email, text, have not received a response from her.
Okay, so since a year ago, you continue to reach out to her, correct?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and we don't have treatment plans for either the bio or custodial because neither one has responded, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, the only thing I was concerned about with TS when I saw him is he blinks a lot. Do you know if that's a new physical problem or is that related to his medication?
I'm not aware, but I can follow up on that.
Okay, and it looks like they're trying to wean him off. He's on quite a few medications and they're listed in the report, correct?
Yes, they are.
And you already indicated the 2 medications he was weaned off, so they're going to try and wean him off other medications as well. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. Yep, they're working closely with his doctor to make sure it's very slow and controlled.
Okay, and so as far as the permanency plan for him, it's guardianship. Is that correct?
It is, yes.
And I know there were some concerns with with his current foster parent on whether or not she really wanted adoption, but that's been rectified. Is that correct?
Yes, I think after several conversations with yourself, therapist, the agency, she is now on board with guardianship. So we will begin that process with her so we can provide TS with permanence.
Okay, and it was my understanding when Ms. Rubis went out to see the foster parent that she had brought the guardianship paperwork out there with her. Do you know if that's been completed?
Not to my knowledge, no. We would have to start with doing fingerprints. And then once we get those back, then we would send off the guardianship packet.
Okay, can you send off the packet though before the fingerprints?
Yeah, yes, we'll start the paperwork so she can sign, so we can just hold that. And then once we get the fingerprints back, then we'll send it all together.
Do you know why the paperwork wasn't brought to her? I think it was a couple weeks ago. She was supposed to receive the paperwork then.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So would return of TS to either the bio parent or the custodial parent cause a substantial risk of harm to his physical and mental health?
Yes, it would.
Okay. And why is that?
He now has a relationship with his mother. However, she was not able to comply with ICPC in order to be fully assessed. With the custodial guardian, she has not visited TS since he entered care. She's not been in communication with the agency. So those would not be appropriate options.
And you don't believe it's in the best interest to terminate either parent's parental rights, correct?
No, I don't.
And that's because the goal is guardianship.
That's correct.
Okay. And has the foster parent followed the reasonable prudent parenting standard and allowed TS to participate in age inappropriate activities?
Yes, they're very engaged with the community and he's involved in several events.
What are your recommendations for today?
Recommending that TS remain temporary court ward, that TS remains with his current foster parent. Parenting time is supervised, unsupervised at the agency's discretion. The goal remains guardianship, and this matter is reviewed in 90 days.
And you'll make sure if the foster parent doesn't have the paperwork that she gets it as soon as possible so we can get this guardianship completed, correct?
Yes, we will. We'll get that to her this month.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
All right, thank you. Ms. Rathburn.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Van Dyken.
Nor do I, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Golden, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rathburn, any witnesses or evidence?
No, thank you.
Ms. Van Dyken, same question.
No evidence or witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Statements.
Your Honor, I did have a chance to see TS at school, met some of the people that are working with him. They say he's doing extremely well there. He's doing very well in the home. He's very bonded, and I support the recommendations. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Rathburn.
Well, Your Honor, I've had conversations with my client and she supports his placement. And I know she's very thankful that the placement has been working with her and the phone calls that she's been able to maintain a relationship. And she supports the recommendations as well.
Great, thank you. Ms. Van Dyken.
The recommendations are appropriate and we support the same, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute, that returning this child to a parent today would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being. And I would also include the legal guardian as well, or legal custodian, I should say. That the agency should not return the child to the parent or legal custodian. They should also not initiate proceedings to terminate parental rights because guardianship is the goal. Permanency plan. That reasonable efforts have been made to preserve and reunify the family, make it possible for this child to safely return home. Those reasonable efforts should be continued. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate is meeting his needs. I'm glad to hear he's doing so well. That his needs can be met in a foster family home. That reasonable efforts have been made to finalize the court-approved permanency plan of legal guardianship. That the permanency planning goal continues to be appropriate. That the appointment of a juvenile guardian is in the best interest of the child. That the court, oh no, I can't make that finding yet. We'll have to wait for the next hearing. So strike that. That the department, foster home, or institutional placement has followed the reasonable and prudent parenting standard, and that the child has had regular opportunities to engage in age or developmentally appropriate activities. The court orders that this child continue placement with the Department for Care and Supervision. That parenting time of legal custodian, Amber Runyon, be supervised until further order of the court. Continue the attorneys in this matter. And Ms. Gibson, do we have a date for our next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, July 30 at 9:30.
Any conflicts with that?
That's fine by me. No?
That works for me.
I already have a 9 and a 9:30. Could we do 10?
Yes, we can. So 10 to
Yeah,
10:30?
it should only be a half hour, correct? Because if it's only half
Yes.
hour, that'll be fine for me as well.
Okay, so July 30 at 10.
Correct.
Okay. Present in the virtual courtroom, we have lawyer guardian ad litem, Mary Golden. We have Cynthia Rathburn on behalf of Ms. Scroggins. We have Mark Van Sluten, who is substituting in today for Stacy Van Dyken, representing the legal custodian and various agency workers. Ms. Golden,
Your Honor, I'd like to call Mary Herrig.
would you raise your right hand?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Ms. Herrig, you are the foster care worker for this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and when did you take over the case?
June 17th, it was assigned to me.
Okay, and prior to you taking over, were you updated on what's been going on in this case?
Yes.
Okay, and you created a report for today, a case service plan with the PAT of 7/11/2025, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask it be marked as Exhibit 1 and move for its admission.
Any objection?
No objection.
It's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. TS remains at the same place he's been at for quite a while, is that correct?
Yes.
And he's doing very well there?
Yes, he is.
And it sounds like he had a well child checkup on 8/16/2024 and a dental exam on 4/23/2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it sounds like he's up to date on immunizations.
Yes.
And has there been any changes to his medication?
I have the list of medication that he's presently on. I don't know that anything's changed recently or not.
So he's on the hydroxyzine, the lamotrigine, the Quellbri, I can't even pronounce them, olanzapine, Adderall, and guanfacine, correct?
Yes.
And he's been on several more prior to that, but they've been reducing them, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and he's doing well on the medication?
he is.
No health concerns over the last quarter?
No.
Okay, and he remains very bonded to his caretaker and the caretaker's family, is that correct?
Yes.
She's meeting all of his needs?
Yes.
It sounds like in school he's doing really well, is that correct?
He's progressing very well in school, yes.
And his behaviors have progressed and he's doing very well in the foster home, is that correct?
Yes.
There's been no aggressive or destructive behaviors over the last quarter?
There's been a little, not aggressive, no. He's been taking things, but they're working on that.
Okay, and he's still in therapy, is that correct, with Melissa Emery?
Yes.
Okay, and is she addressing some of these behaviors?
Yes, she's working with Miss Mason on them.
And what type of contact has he had with Miss Scroggins over the last quarter?
I don't know of any over the last quarter.
But he's able to have like Zoom or telephone contact with her if she contacts you, correct?
Yes.
And have you let her know that you are the new foster care worker? Does she know how to get a hold of you?
I haven't, but I can.
Okay, so you'll reach out to her, correct?
Sure.
Okay, and let's see, is there anything else about TS that we haven't discussed?
Not that I can think of. He's going to be in the 6th grade.
Okay, and as far as the guardianship, I know there's been a little bit of a stall in that because the caregiver unfortunately lost her son over the last quarter, correct?
Yes.
So that's kind of interfered with getting everything completed for the guardianship?
Yeah, but she just completed everything. She did her fingerprints and we're processing paperwork. It should be about 6 weeks before we get everything back.
And so will we be able to do a guardianship hearing before 90 days, do you think?
Probably.
Okay, and what are your recommendations today?
Guardianship.
Okay. And a review hearing in 90 days, is that correct?
Yes.
And have you had any contact with Miss Runyon?
No.
Okay, and will you reach out to her to see if she wants to have any contact?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Rathburn.
Well, thank you. When you reach out to Miss Scroggins, it's just a matter of just establishing the communication with her in case she has any questions or needs, correct?
Yes,
Okay, you understand she's not working a treatment plan or anything of that nature.
right, yeah.
Okay, and you should have her contact information still in the file from the last caseworker?
I believe I do.
Okay, and since you're not aware of any contact my client has had with Thomas over the past report period, then do you have an understanding that the caregiver would let you know if there were concerns?
Yes,
Okay. Has Miss Runyon had actually any contact with Thomas in the last report period?
not that I know of.
Okay. All right. And will there be anything that Miss Runyon or Miss Scroggins needs to sign in regards to the guardianship as far as you know?
I don't think so.
Okay, very good. I got nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Van Sluten.
I have no questions. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Golden, any further witnesses or follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rathburn, any witnesses?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Van Sluten, any witnesses?
No, thank you.
All right. Statements.
Your Honor, as I told the court earlier, the caregiver has been undergoing some health issues over the last week and a half, and has had multiple appointments. So we've been unable. I've talked to her several times, but we haven't been able to do an actual Zoom visit. If the court would like me to see him in person, I can do that next week. Or I can just do a Zoom visit. It's up to the court. And I agree with the recommendations. The last time I did see him, he is very talkative and he is thriving in this home. So I agree with the recommendations.
And when was the last time you saw him in person?
Not the last quarter, but before that.
Okay. I think it's time probably to see him in person.
Okay. I will do that then, Your Honor.
All right.
You.
Thank you. Ms. Rathburn.
On behalf of my client, I have no statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Van Sluten.
I have no statement as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The court finds that the lawyer guardian ad litem has complied with the requirements of the statute on the condition that the lawyer guardian ad litem submits confirmation that there's been an in-person visit within the next 2 weeks. That returning this child to a parent or legal custodian at this time would cause a substantial risk of harm to the child's life, physical health, or mental well-being. There's been no change in this case. That the child's continued placement is necessary and appropriate, is meeting the child's needs, that the child's needs can be met in a foster family home. The court orders that this child continue in the protective and temporary custody of the court, to continue placement with the Department for Care and Supervision. That parenting time Ms. Runyon be supervised until further order of the court. Continue the attorneys in this matter. And Ms. Gibson, would you give us a review hearing in 60 days? I'm hoping that maybe that guardianship paperwork will have gone through by then.
Okay, one moment.
Your Honor, quick question. I think we left it in previous orders that Ms. Scroggins was allowed contact with him. Did we have that in the last order? Because we were allowing her to have phone contact through the foster mother.
Yes, the agency shall arrange parenting time with Ms. Scroggins as recommended by the child's therapist. I'll continue that language in the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, for 60 days, we could do September 30th at 2 p.m.
Your Honor, I have MIs that afternoon.
Okay. How about the next day, October 1st at 10:30?
That works
10:30
for
I
me.
can do. That's okay for
Works
me.
for me.
I don't think Mark is really into this very well, so.
I can cover it if Ms. Van Dyken can't, so.
All right. And just as a reminder to the agency that at that next hearing, the court will need the home study and the criminal background check submitted so that the guardianship can be finalized at that time. If there's an issue with that, let my office know and we can always reschedule the hearing. I'm just trying to get this to move along as quickly as we can. So, but I don't want to have a hearing in 60 days if the paperwork's not all in already. All right. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you. We're
Thank you.
adjourned. And
Thank
Ms.
you.
Emery, thank you for